Discipline is one of my strengths, but it's not everybody's strength. In fact, it's one of the biggest weaknesses worldwide. Most people struggle with discipline and the willpower to continue when things get tough. Last week, we talked about the willpower and the rewarding system to achieve goals. This is precisely what needs to be implemented when it comes to discipline. It's not about forcing yourself or pressuring yourself to get things done. It's about making sure that you're finding the correct motivation to continue on. If you find success once, then it'll become much easier to continue the next time and the time after that. Achieving that success is a much sweeter feeling than giving up in the moment when things get difficult. For me, I make sure that I continue on a consistent routine. Routine is very important. Habitual routines allow you to continue on the things you need to achieve, following through on your to-do list. It's not about self-punishment. It's about setting yourself up for success in the long run. Future success is a much more important indicator of overall success than today's comfort. In the start of the new year, everybody's motivated to get things done. But without discipline, as we get into the mid-year and end-of-year mark, things start to wane. This is where people give up on the goals that they had set up for themselves at the beginning of the year. With discipline, we make sure that we're getting things done all the way to the end. Follow-through is a critical aspect of discipline. Conviction is another important aspect. You need to believe that if you continue, you will be able to achieve greatness. Without that conviction, it's easy to start denying the need and necessity of whatever you are doing. Without that belief, it's very easy to lose sight of what it is you're trying to achieve. Adaptability is also another important aspect of discipline. Things will be thrown your way, and if you're unable to maneuver around these obstacles, it'll be much more difficult to maintain discipline. Again, this ties back to personality styles. Like I've mentioned previously, discipline comes naturally to me because it's one of my top strengths, and this is based on my personality style. For other people, they may need to put a little bit more work to get into the discipline routine. But it is a learned skill, and it's very possible for any personality style to learn to become a lot more disciplined if you believe that that skill or task is important to you. Make sure to fit in these important tasks with your priorities to continue on your discipline journey.
If we try to summarize these concepts when it comes to discipline, we can create a well-rounded definition of discipline, starting with motivation and willpower, which can be implemented through consistency and routine, and of course, keeping that vision in sight with follow-through. Adaptability is critical to remain flexible in the face of obstacles, hurdles, and external variables that we do not have control over in life. And most importantly, what grounds us is that belief and being convinced that this is a true purpose that we need to maintain discipline for. It is worthwhile, even when things get tough, to remain on course until the very end, where we are able to achieve success. Whether that is great success or a slightly lesser version of success than we had anticipated. Appreciating that end goal would allow us to implement success time and time again. Think of children waking up, having to go to school. They may not implement all of these steps, but it is being implemented for them. That discipline is being implemented in childhood through consistency and routine, and all the rest follows with time. We must not lose sight that that is the same sort of journey that we need to follow in every stage of life to ensure that we are achieving what we set out to achieve for ourselves or what we have to achieve as part of our responsibilities and daily tasks. Very little would get done if we do not implement these steps within discipline. It is up to us whether we set out on that journey or not. If we make the right decision, we can achieve a lot in a much shorter time span than if we do not implement these discipline techniques. Dissecting this skill would allow us to implement it in a much faster pace. And therefore, we need to study what slows us down from implementing these discipline techniques to allow us to achieve our long-term vision. So go ahead and set forth on that journey. Good luck.